She's like, bring it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again, good. Well, not actually, again, I haven't said anything yet. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Digital PNA. I'm going to start the slideshow really quickly. And of course, it's on the wrong slide. Perfectly timed. Let's try again. Okay. Good to share screens really quickly. This is the fun part. Welcome, everybody. Is that the right screen? You can see that? There we go. Someone give me a nod. No one's nodding. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes, we can see
Okay.
it.
Just making sure. I mean, I've been
Courtney.
alone in
I
this
can
office
see it.
for a long time today, so I just want to make absolutely sure. This is me. This is the non-washed out version, other than my live pictures all washed out because of the white screen. Hi, I'm your president. These are our current members. Great to see everyone's faces. Like I said, there's a couple absences today, but that's okay. I'll only hold it against them later. I don't see anybody else trying to get in here yet, so that's okay. And as always, please remember, if you refer someone into the group, I'd love to incentivize you and say thank you if they are approved, if they list you as a as the sponsor, for lack of better words. Once they get approved and pay, I pay you. So that's a great problem to have. Christmas could come early. Looking for some quick volunteers. You all know how to do this and what to do. I need someone to take a snapshot or two during the meeting. If possible, it could be a screenshot. You can turn around in your chair and do a selfie, or his camera follows him everywhere he goes anyway. So maybe he can just hit snap once in a while, whatever. Can I get a volunteer for the photographer? If not, I'll ask. Hearing none, seeing none. Karen, thank you. She's not eating her creepy little pretzel things. She can multitask. Oh, can't even imagine how it tastes. Cauliflower pretzel. Okay. Tracker, listen for any quotables, like it says there. If anybody drops some data, drops some numbers, Marcel's already got her hand up. Okay, tracker. I will handle timing today. So if I could have someone that wants to doodle, Jorge's already doodling, probably. But it's between Courtney and Jorge. Who wants to take a screenshot and scribble? Or if someone talks about metrics, you can doodle that. Or if you're just really bored and you want to draw animated characters of all of us, you can do that too.
I'm not on my normal device, so I can't doodle.
Okay. So
Remember, we're
Jorge's
having you doodle to build up that written skill of storyboarding, right? Because so often we're on our computer, but if you can start sketching ideas differently, even, crazy dumb little people, the little stick people, totally cool. So I think, Courtney, you're on because you're in your desk and you've got paper and.
You okay with that, Courtney?
Okay.
It doesn't have to be good. Just
if your daughter's nearby, just have her grab a pencil. Whatever works.
She's not.
Okay.
I'm at the office.
That's funny. Okay, so someone's trying to put in chat window cauliflower is good. I do not believe you. Okay.
That was me.
Very good. Moving to the next screen. We're going to do commercials real quick. This is again where you give 60 seconds. Awe-inspiring, of course, is better than droll. Don't forget to have an ask. People always, cute picture, Courtney. People often forget to have an ask when it comes to your commercial. And I say that because with this being digital PNA, keep in mind, we don't see each other every day. This is completely online. Some of us are in much further distances. I think Karen wins. She's in Arizona. She's not local to us anymore. Boo. But, if you have a specific ask, please make sure you mention that. And if you want to work this into your commercial today, what is your favorite productivity app and why? Okay. So it can be an app. That's kind of a general term now. It could be on your desktop, but ideally something on a mobile device. So let's think out and about. Or if you're from Canada, out and about. So productivity app, what's your favorite one and why? I'm going to kill the shared screen. I'm hoping to be able to kill it. There we go. Back to our smiley faces. Who would like to start? I'll put Marcel on the spot. Go for it, Marcel.
I'll go. So, hey everybody, I'm Marcel with Dreamosity. And at dreamosity.com, we help people develop their digital footprint so you can be in the limelight. So whether you need help with video marketing and editing, I can do that. And if you want some creative help on what type of content your audience might love, I can help with that. Also creative stuff for Instagram, Reels, Pinterest, right? All that SEO juice, everything you do on social media helps people find you on the internet. So if people aren't calling you saying, hey, I found you from your website, I could totally hook you up with that. So if you're not getting people from your website, I can help you with that. It's very possible. And my favorite productivity app is something called GQs. It's a Google application. It's about $25 a year, but it's where it's basically what Elise Enriquez calls your bonus brain. And so I dump all my ideas, all the projects in there, and then I process them. Sometimes I process them quickly, sometimes I don't, but it's phenomenal. So from an operations and admin perspective, it kind of tells me what to do, when to do. So my brain doesn't have to remember all that tedious, dumb stuff. So it's awesome. And if you ever want to talk about it, hit me up.
That's great.
Oh, and my
Oh, yeah.
ask, I'm backing up. So I just posted a reel. I had it on Instagram last month. I want to try it on Facebook. So if you would either like it or comment and maybe even share it, it's asking, I want to do some data art demonstrations, right? So the framework I had in Financial Joy, I want to show that to some people. And so I'm basically doing a free demonstration. So if you know somebody or if you want one yourself, let me know. And hey, welcome Holly, just talking about money. We got a bookkeeper here. So
Lock the door behind her.
today.
Don't let her leave. There's a unicorn present now. Marcel, I rudely interrupted you. I'm sorry. Finish your sentence.
No, I was just saying that reel is now on Facebook. So if you guys want to comment or like, I would appreciate that. And then if you want one of those data art demonstrations, let me know.
Outstanding. Okay, thank you for that. I'll try to go boy girl as much as I can today, but there's only two of us. So Jorge, go for it.
Hi guys, I'm Jorge Ramirez, Raintown Realty, doing real estate transactions from Quebec all the way down to Bellevue and Marysville. I'm in Kittitas, King, Pierce counties. If you guys need a real estate professional, please hit me up. I also do speak Spanish, and I'm DPA trained. So I look out and help people who are looking for ways to get into the market and might have very little resources. So yeah, my favorite app right now, I still don't have one. I use a lot of them. There's quite a few, but I'm getting more into the social apps, which I was trying to stay away from. But so anyway, my ask is if you know anyone who is looking to get into the real estate game, let me know, and I'll help them out, treat them good.
And Jorge, I need to ask for clarification. I know that oh my gosh, am I saying it right? Raintown Realty, they are expanding like bonkers. Are you looking for people on your team, or are you asking if you know of someone who's wanting to buy or sell?
I don't do I can't make the choices for people on my team unless they speak Spanish.
Okay.
If they do speak Spanish, then I am looking to speak to that particular person or agent.
No.
And otherwise, yeah, if you guys know anyone who is looking for real estate, and they want someone who can help them out, give me a call.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay. Kelly, let's hear from you, given that you're our presenter today. So we promise to forget everything you say during your commercial. Okay. Ready, set, go.
All right. I'm Kelly. I founded the Union Connection. Currently, so we are a nonprofit. So we have our 501c3 since 2021. Currently, we are supporting the police departments throughout Snohomish County. So anytime something happens or they just need a morale boost, I try to hit every single department at least once a year. Oh my gosh, my brain is fried.
It's okay. You can move on to the tangents since you're presenting.
Yeah, I don't have a productivity app. That's why I'm going to steal them all from you guys, because I need to totally get organized with my computer and data. And yeah, so I'll just be perfectly honest. I need to get more organized as far as data goes.
Hey, honesty is the first step. That's fantastic. Okay, great. Hey, Holly, hi. Let's hear from you. Let's put you on the spot. Give us a 60-second commercial about your business. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And then the tangent behind the length of my hair, the coif, is what's your favorite productivity app and why?
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for inviting me, letting me join in today. I'm Holly Kemp. I'm the owner of North Puget Sound Bookkeeping. Just started up this year. I've been in bookkeeping for 10 plus years, been in construction, nonprofit, that kind of thing. And so what I do is just get everybody ready for their taxes at the end of the year. So I do kind of the day-to-day stuff, the receivables, payables. I can do that. I can do payroll. I balance your statements and put everything in each GL account where it needs to go, so the accountant or CPA can get your business ready for taxes at the end of the year. So I have a handful of clients now, and I'm in the Marysville area, but looking to grow and expand. So in a nutshell, that's what I do.
That's great. Holly, thank you. And your tangent, do you have a favorite productivity app? And Tetris doesn't count.
What doesn't count?
Tetris.
Oh, Tetris. I don't know if I really have a favorite productivity app.
Okay.
I have to think on that for a minute.
All right. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
everyone will post what theirs are in the chat window as well. So we all might be able to take home a little extra nugget of info today,
Yeah.
and maybe something else you can get addicted to. So excellent. Holly, again, thank you for being here. Also, I did forget at the beginning, if everyone wouldn't mind putting their contact information in the chat window. That way, aside from the occasional email that comes out from me, we can all reach out to one another if we're inspired by something we hear today. Okay. Let's hear from Karen, and then Courtney, and then me.
Okay, I'm Karen Pernig with KK Financial Solutions, and I approach business a little bit differently. I have a degree in project management, so I like to look at my clients and what they're doing with a project management lens. So think about kind of what a project manager does, manages projects. Well, I manage people, and I kind of take them from cradle to grave, kind of like what a project manager does in like a construction. But I also do several different things in my business. That's why it's called Financial Solutions. I try to do the holistic approach with my clients, provide them what they need at every step of their life. So I sell life insurance, long-term care, and annuities. I do business valuations, where if you're a business owner and you're looking to sell, I can valuate your business so you can see what it's worth. I also do CDFA work, which is Certified Divorce Financial Analyst. So if you have any friends that are considering divorce or looking at divorce, check out a CDFA first so they can help you through the financial piece. And then what else do I do? I think that's it. So my productivity app is Asana. So that's a project management app. And I use it not only for my clients, but I'm in a coaching program right now, and she also uses Asana to keep track of her clients. And then my other one that I really like, I'm not sure if it's a productivity app, but it's called the Libby app, which is the library app where you can keep track of all the books that you're reading. So that's what I like. You can check them out digitally from the library.
You're a book nerd. I didn't know that.
I am a book nerd, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, Courtney, let's hear from you.
Okay, good afternoon. Courtney Balza with Country Financial Insurance. I was listening to Marcel, and I just think about how not creative I am, and I was just trying to think what I could say. Just like, insurance, it's not creative. But then I thought, I get creative sometimes for my clients in their solutions. So this is just a really funny story, and I wanted to just talk about it. So I have a client who has a home policy with me and auto, and she was asking if she could get the redwood trees on her property insured. And I was like, that seems kind of like she's like afraid that someone will chop them down and steal them. I'm like, what? Like, I really don't know what the reasoning is, but I'm okay, well, maybe we can. So I'm like looking, just being creative, trying to find a solution, and haven't been able to find one yet. But then she came back and said, what if we insure them like a farmer's crop? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we can look into it. It's always something I never want to say no, but I want to try to find a solution for somebody. So that's what I try to do. with insurance. I do home, auto, business, life. I haven't found a solution for it yet, but we're still looking. So, but it's kind of an odd one. But I can do really any kind of insurance. I don't touch health insurance though. That's one thing I don't really do. But yes, I like to be a yes person. I don't like to say no. So yes, and
Great.
so yeah, that's a little bit about what I do. And I'm licensed in Washington, Alaska, Oregon, Idaho, Nevada, and Arizona for property casualty and life insurance, which is basically home, auto, business, and life. And so yeah, I can help people in all of those states. And
And the
I love
tangent?
what I do. Yeah, tangent. The app, okay, I mean, I usually use like Outlook, and that's the one that I'm approved to use for work. So I don't know, is that a productivity thing?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
In
that's where I keep my calendar. I look at it every night before I come in to make sure I'm not missing a meeting or something. So
Cool.
as long as it's in my calendar, I won't miss it.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Courtney. Okay, I'm last. Brian Trendler. Hey, everybody. I co-own Laugh Tech with Marcel Allen. Of course, you all know I own PNA Northwest. Thanks for being here today. Laugh Tech, people always go, what? Like, you do what? We're literally humor engagement coaches. Another way to say it is we fix boring people. We've had a rash of them recently. I'm actually working with someone specifically. This is one of the rare times I'm not working with Marcel. It was a direct referral. This guy needs to talk to a guy. And he's actually from Canada, so not Quebec, where Jorge is familiar from. But no, it's he's out in the Manitoba area, which is like up, East Coast area. And he's having literally midlife crisis-based issues. So suddenly I'm becoming a laughter/life coach, but we're literally working on things that he needs to address, needs to be heard in order to find more motivation in what he's doing. And he wants to do that in an illustrative, creative, and fun way. So it's been a really interesting fit. New for me, but it's one of those things where he's going through a series of self-discoveries in his career path as well as his hobbies. He's not finding joy in a lot of those things. So it's interesting because we're doing improvisational-based exercises to get him kind of back in a frame of mind. And ironically, he's a professional bowler. So the word frame of mind and frame and all these lanes and things like that, we're learning. And I'm having fun with him each week as well because I'm incorporating puns, bowling-based puns into the things that we talk about. And I'm tracking how many he catches. And so far, he's only caught like, a half dozen of multiples. So it's interesting because I'm kind of retraining his brain to stay on target. So anyway, my app, I just wanted to say, is literally Zoho Estimate/Invoice. It's owned by the Google monster or the Gmail monsters, whatever they are. But point is, it used to be very expensive. Then it became less expensive. Now it's completely free. And I like that price the best. Now I have unlimited clients I can enter in. I've got all my businesses under individual drop-down logins for the 3 businesses. And I can simultaneously use it for milestones, for products, for pricing, for quotes, like I said, estimates. The nicest thing, unlike original things I use like lessaccounting.com, etc., when someone says, yes, I want to do it, all I got to do is hit one button that says convert to invoice. It sends a templatized, email that says, thanks for your purchase, whatever the case is, payment options, etc. It has removed so much admin-based garbage in my life. I'm incredibly thankful for it. So if you just look up Zoho, Zoho, and it's a whole suite of office-based organizational and kind of utilitarian apps, and it's a phenomenal series of programs. So there you go. Good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for putting some of the information in the chat window as well. That's all good stuff. And I know we got library card conversations going on. Always interesting to see what happens in chat. Okay, so Marcel's losing her mind.
You
right
told me to post the library app.
I
so
know,
did
it's
that.
great. It's great. I still owe a library book from like Renton from like 30 years ago. So they're after me. I have to be careful. I can't get back into the system. I had to change the last name of my kids just to get a library card for them. I'm a horrible person. We're going to go into our speaker of the day. I am really excited to introduce her. Now, Kelly, I'm going to give you a couple questions first. Okay, so you get to answer some really, deep, intense profile questions here. But give us your full name, as if we can't see it there. Full name and how long you've been in business.
Okay, so my name is Kelly Landon, and it officially started in the summer of 2020, but we were incorporated in March of 2021.
Awesome.
Or not
Okay.
incorporated. We got our
All right.
nonprofit status.
Okay. So aside from being an epic mom who constantly wrestles with her kids on Zoom calls, which I've enjoyed seeing for months, give us an idea of your favorite client in 10 seconds or less. Ready, set, go.
My favorite client would be someone that supports law enforcement and doesn't lose their passion when something happens.
Wow, that was like literally 10 seconds. I'm impressed. That was great. How about a favorite hobby outside of child wrestling and the Union Connection?
So lately I've been getting into blogging, but I don't have time for that. So I've been trying to grow plants, and they're still alive, so that's good.
I like how you said trying. It's like thumb is not quite
Trying
green
to grow
yet.
food.
Okay. All right. Well, when you hear screams, that means they need water. Okay. Same
Well, they're
goes for
still
your kid.
green. There's just no
Okay.
food on them yet.
Good. I have to say one thing. I just want you to know that almost every time I look at your URL or your email alias, I read the Unicorn Connection. So that to me just makes you extra special. But for some reason, my brain just says unicorn every time I read that. But either way. So Kelly, do you need to share screens today? I think you do, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give you sharing rights. And remember, you don't have to take all of the 20 minutes that we've allocated for you. I will give you a 10-minute yellow background on my screen. And if you go as far as we think you will, which is to the ends of the earth and beyond, but if you reach that roughly 20-minute mark at 19, I'll give you the red, and that just gives you a minute to wrap up, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I am trying to get the button to make you shareable. There you go. And start when you're ready. Kelly Landon, everybody. Oh.
Oh, yeah, it's broken. See? Oh, take this one. See, I'm getting interrupted. I knew this was going to happen.
That's okay. We'll just play some old music. Jorge, sing.
Okay. Okay, let me share screens. How do I do this? I want to share. I think I want to share this one.
There you go.
Yay! Okay, so my name is Kelly. I started the Union Connection. And I'm just going to kind of go over how I came up with the name and my mission and what I've been accomplishing over the last year. So this is my husband. He's the one that deals with all the boxes and packages all over my house when I am delivering stuff to police departments. I have 2 boys, a dog, 2 cats, and a hamster. I don't know why I wanted to put that in there, but it was funny. My passion is criminal justice, helping others, and then also the recovery community. So the name The Union Connection came, my husband was actually on the Google building when the crane fell over. He was not there that day. He had actually gotten 1 day off. It was like he had worked for 25 days straight, and then he was supposed to be there that day, and they were like, well, why don't we take a break while they're moving the crane? So I'm very, very grateful that he was not there that day. But if you look at the arrow, that's his basket that he was working out of. So there's a good possibility that if he was there that day, he wouldn't be here today. The crane completely smashed what's called a lifeline. It's the line that they use in case, the cage breaks or something breaks. So it was very shocking to me that day. And I also come from a family of union members. My dad was a driver for 32 years. My mom worked at Boeing. My husband's in sheet metal. And then my father-in-law was a safety engineer for 30 years. So after that accident, what I saw was there was a whole bunch of fraudulent GoFundMe's going up. I didn't even know, half of them weren't going to the families or the victims of the accidents. The union workers, the iron workers were trying to raise funds with what little funds they had. Like they're, working people and they got together like $100, made stickers and were selling them for 20, So it's like they were trying to do their best to raise funds for the families of the victims, but they just should have been grieving together. That was a traumatic accident. In 2020, that's when the uprising against law enforcement happened, and I decided to put this plan in motion. I found out that all law enforcement is part of a union, so I came up with the Union Connection name. I've held on to that for a really long time, but now it was time to use it. People wanted to learn how to support law enforcement, but didn't know how. We wanted to be able to stand up for them. We know that we need them. Someone needed to be the person to organize everything instead of just a jumble mess of people. And I was willing to stand up and be that person. This is our first basket that we did for Briar. It was a huge basket. It's the size of a mini table. It was probably 25 pounds and it was stuffed with just thank you cards and coffee and all kinds of stuff. So my why on why I decided to step up with this is that I am in recovery. I am a recovering addict. And on the 9th of April, I celebrated 10 years of sobriety. And in my heart of hearts, I believe that without the tough love of law enforcement, I would not be here today. So I kind of felt when 2020 was going on and everybody wanted to support him, but didn't want to stand up and be that face, like, because you get reprimanded for that. And, it was just my turn to give back to them. Like they had been there for me so many times. It was my turn to just stand up and take the heat and kind of get the job done. My first project was to ensure that every officer in Snohomish County felt appreciated. So we created 2,500 snack bags and we delivered them throughout Snohomish County. One of the bigger ones on the left-hand side, there was the Washington State Patrol. They have 250 employees. And we just filled them with goodies and thank you cards just to make them feel special. My big thing is that I wanted to ensure every officer felt appreciated, which is why I did bags instead of baskets, because I just want every single person to get one. The second project was in the beginning of 2022. K9 Jedi died in Seattle. This was kind of a turning point for me because I realized that I'm not Superwoman and I can't do everything for everybody. So that's when I specifically, sorry, it's really loud here. I specifically chose after this project to only stay in Snohomish County. That way I kind of had a goal of what I wanted to get done. The group at the time wanted to do something for this handler because it was the first canine to get to die in the line of duty. That's a huge thing, which is why they made a big deal out of it. So that is a canine clone. That was $400. It's a Zach replica of K9 Jedi, the one that passed. Thanks for laughing at me. And in those bags are 1,400 of those bracelets and cards in like little Gonzaga bags or whatever you call them. So we just wanted to make sure that everybody in the Seattle PD got a bag and a bracelet for K9 Jedi. This was my biggest drop ever, Snohomish County Corrections. They had 400 bags. We had to have 3 cars deliver it. This is when I learned out that corrections is not a blue line, they're a gray line. And I thought that was really interesting because I thought they were all part of the same thing, but they actually have, it would be back the gray line or silver line. And then like dispatchers are a yellow line. So I got to learn something with my signs there and, but they took it and I got, learn all kinds of new stuff. In the beginning of 2020, after K9 Jedi is when Officer Dan Rocha passed away. I got called down to the scene that day. I was there when they brought his car in and cleaned it up. I was there when the officers came back from the site. So this is like his car. I don't know if anybody's seen, I should have put a picture of the after, but this was like right when it happened. They cleaned his car up and they put this here. And that's when I went to deliver support. Pretty much all of 2022 was focused on him. focused on supporting his family, supporting the Everett PD. We created this coin for a fundraiser. With that fundraiser, we raised $5,000 for the family. We made sure that everyone at Everett PD got one. They didn't have to pay for one if they didn't want to. Excuse me. And then we also did wristbands, and the wristbands, we made sure that all law enforcement personnel through Snohomish County got one because everybody was affected by it. This is when I also learned about the SMART team. The SMART team is a group of officers from different jurisdictions, like so Everett, Linwood, different cities. And when something happens to an officer, those officers can't work on it. It has to be officers from other departments. So officers were called from all over the county to come and work on this case when it happened. So I made sure that they got taken care of as well. November 17th is the day we always remember Charlie Cortez. He was the officer that was lost at sea in Tulalip. This was kind of a special moment because I didn't know that they had like a memorial site in the back of their room, and they took me to go see that. And I also got one of Charlie's coins from the officer. So we just make sure that they know that we're always supporting them. I'm also in contact with their family too, so it's kind of special. Oh, where'd my cursor go? We supported car seats for the sheriff's office. The reason we did this is because anything that happens with county takes months and months and months, and we didn't want them discussing, oh, well, this one has this safety feature and that one has that safety feature. And so as a community, we decided to raise money for car seats. They had an instance where they pulled over a DUI driver and they had a young child in the car and they had no way to transport them. And that child was sitting on the side of the road in a busted up car, in a police car for 4.5 hours waiting for someone to pick them up. So, they asked for some car seats, we raised the money, and each precinct now has a car seat for them to use whenever they need it. This is kind of what my nonprofit looks like. So the nonprofit is called the Union Connection. It's an established 501c3. I have a DBA currently with Back the Blue, Snohomish County. We are in the works of doing a legacy foundation for Dan Rocha. We were thinking about doing grants for kids seeking public safety as a career choice. And then I also started a hero award because I noticed that there's no way for the community to nominate officers that have done an outstanding job. So I came up with a hero award. I've given 2 of them away so far, but I haven't launched it publicly yet because I don't know how I'm going to do that. And that's it. And these are just some of my favorite pictures.
Kelly, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing today. Let's go ahead and open it up for questions that everyone here might have for her. Anything you got?
I really hope you guys can't hear that.
It's okay if there's a little squawking in the background, but it's filtered out pretty well from Zoom.
Okay.
Kelly, I'm so inspired that you just stood up and was like, these people need help and I'm gonna help them because they help me. That to me is just really remarkable. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so my question though, and I ask this to most PNA people, and our goal at PNA is for us to become an extension of your sales force, right? So if we were to call a brother, sister, friend, share a video, buy a coin, what's something that we could do today or tomorrow, a quick something that we could do to help you further the cause? What's something, do you want us to post your website and tag you saying, what would help you get the word out, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so my biggest thing right now is trying to figure out what businesses are pro blue and what businesses are not. I would like to start getting
How are
some
businesses
marketing
not
material
pro
out.
blue?
Oh, there's a lot.
Save them. Oh,
yeah, no, they will refuse to serve officers. Yeah, I've heard some grueling stories, but an officer will come in on duty and they'll refuse to serve them, or they'll seat them and they'll serve everybody else around them. It definitely happens and it's super sad, but I would love to do some little fundraisers. I need to get some marketing materials completed, try to figure out a smaller way to say what I'm doing. But yeah.
okay. Well, I'll just participate in your Facebook
sharing
group
good
until
too.
I know more.
Yeah. I
have
think
a
I'm still trying to figure out my why or my how. I have my why, but my how, I think I'm still trying to figure out.
Yeah, a lot of us are trying to figure out our how.
You have
That's
social
an everyday
media.
thing. Anyone else
say that
have
again?
sorry?
I was asking if you had any social media we can follow and promote.
Oh, yes. So I have 2 pages right now. I have the Union Connection, and then I also have Back the Blue Snohomish County. And then I'm also starting to make separate groups because I'm noticing that people want to donate to their specific department. So like the Edmonds team, they witnessed 2 suicides in 2 days. The same team did. And so I made a specific group for Edmonds, and they raised like $700. It was great. Like it was so easy. They knew where the money was going. And so I think people don't donate just in general anymore, but they'll donate when things happen, which is why I'm changing my mission once this year is over. So I'll be doing things in times of need instead of just sporadically, because that seems to be where people want to donate.
Okay. Anyone else have questions for Kelly?
I have a couple questions for
Go
you.
for it, Kelly.
Hi.
Hey. Yeah, first of all, you're amazing. You're inspiring what you're doing for them. And how do you find out like what they need as far as when you purchase the car seats and stuff like that? How do you find out what the specific needs are?
So with the car seats, I have specific relationships with the officers that happened in that counter, and they just called me and told me what was going on. So sometimes I get calls directly from officers themselves with the car seat situation. With the coin, I just asked them if it was okay if I made the coin up. But yeah, like I'll wake up when Officer House got shot. I woke up to messages saying, "Hey, we had an officer shot. He's okay." Like, just
Okay.
so
They keep you informed.
yeah.
And then what kind of help do you have when you're putting all that together besides doing a fundraiser? What kind of help do you have?
So I used to let people over, and then I stopped. Like if I know you well enough, I'll let you come over and like help me do bags. Some people like I'll meet up with and they'll do bags at their house. It's hard because officers are so picky. They're not picky. They are reserved on who they will take food from, even store packaged food. So I don't like the food. Like I don't like when people bring me food. I would rather me either go get it or it come like Amazon, just because I'm the one delivering it. And if they did something to that food, I couldn't tell you where it came from. So yeah, I'm working on delegating right now. I'm asking people to take over departments and be ambassadors for those departments. And then normally when I find out something happened, it's from their Facebook page. So like Lake Stevens earlier this year had an officer involved shooting. So when that happened, we all got together and we brought them snacks. So.
Excellent. Any other questions? Okay. I think the only question I have, Kelly, and which is meant to sound weird, is how much can you handle right now? Like if things were to go, heaven forbid, sour really quickly with a couple districts, accidents, injuries, end of life type of scenarios, would it really realistically just be you on the forefront? Or, is that equivalent team that you can call on, would they also be able to divide and conquer with you? Like, help me understand the breadth of what you can take at this point.
Hold on a second. My dog is going crazy. What is going on?
I chain my kids to the radiator upstairs. So
Good question. And I'll just chime in. Her group on Facebook has hundreds, thousands of people. So she'll post questions in there. I started to try to answer for you, Kelly. Yeah, she's got
That's okay. I can get my headphones in so I can still hear you guys.
1,500 members in that Facebook group. So she'll post in there and then get 50 comments, right? So she's got a fairly cohesive community, but not necessarily staff, right? Like you don't have.
Yeah, so I've had a lot of problems with people saying they'll take over projects and not follow through.
Sure.
Last year when we did the signs, because we didn't have a lot of donations come in because of Officer Rocha's passing, like people were like, oh yeah, I'll go to these 3 departments. But so I dropped the signs off at their house and then the departments never got them.
Wow.
So, and I only do as much as the donations come in. If people don't fund it, then it doesn't happen. Which is why I'm working on delegating. I'm working on people I came up with the ambassador role. I thought that was a good name for it, where they'll take over a certain group, and if anything happens, like they can start fundraising or doing whatever they need to do. And I, with my assistance, but we'll see.
That's great. Okay. Thank you for that. All right. Any last questions for her at this point? If not, we're going to go on to the next slide really quickly. Oh, I get to reclaim host. It's very exciting. Ooh. Okay. Okay. So for the sake of our first time guest, Holly, this is something that PNA Northwest does that no other networking organization, to my knowledge, does. And trust me, I've spent a good 10 minutes looking into that. We go deeper into the presentation now. It's really, really hard for the speaker to try not to put as much input into this part. This is for us to engage with her on, as well as to discuss further what we just heard. So let's talk about target market, what people and or businesses would need the presenter's services. In this case, it might be kind of obvious, but let's call off a couple things that we might have in mind. I'll start it off really quickly. This may be completely wrong, and maybe Kelly can answer later, but I would think other nonprofits that are engaged with police forces throughout, I'm probably saying that wrong, districts, organizations, whatever, but if they're already in the appropriate doors, they could bring her in deeper into some of these organizations so she can have even bigger and better impact, right? So other nonprofits that are already supporting our police force.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else input on this?
Well, and I would just say like family members of injured officers. That's kind of one thought. But then the whole political scene, half of that political world, people are talking about public safety and trying to, so for them to know Kelly is kind of a VIP in that space, I think would be helpful. And a lot of political people don't start out knowing that this thing even exists. So if you've got somebody running for office, city council, or something, that'd be, people would need to know Kelly.
Good point. Any other input from other folks on the call? Okay. Next section is ideal partners, collaborative ideas. I think actually my first answer was more likely attributed toward this. Any other nonprofits that are already involved in serving back to that particular community, they could bring her in, they could help, rally when the cry goes out, things along those lines. Anyone else have any other ideas on this part?
Well, I would say any of the companies that could provide donations for any of the fundraising stuff that you're doing.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, like my company, we offer the first responder Operation Helping Heroes. I think I talked about it before, and I have been meaning to reach back out to you, Kelly, because I still have my allocation for the year to use, so we can collaborate on how best to use that. I'd like to do something more creative, even though I'm not creative. But yeah, that's one thing.
It's a great idea.
Maybe grant writers, somebody that could help find grants that would specifically help out for police officers and things that have to do with that. I know there's grants out there. There's all kinds of grants.
There has to be, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that actually goes toward the last frame here on the screen, because you're absolutely right. Grant writers, also copywriters, copy editors, those are 3 actual completely separate categories, albeit a content writer, a copywriter could have skills in the grant arena. But yeah, that's a big opportunity. So yeah, definitely huge,
There-
huge. value there.
There's actually another resource at your local library. There, you can talk to a librarian. There is a area where you can sign up that tells you about all the different grants too. So use your local librarian.
Marcel and I were just talking about that sort of thing the other day also. That's
Mhm.
fascinating. Actually,
Really, any businesses can use
Yeah.
it. There's a whole business section at the library. You can even go and make videos. They have a green screen, all kinds of stuff at your local library.
well, and the staff, I mean, they don't charge to run database searches for
No, they don't.
everything you can think of. If you're in real estate, you know, those that are buying, recently purchased, kernelized demographics, age, location, buy, rent, you know, income level, everything. They don't charge for those types of database pulls. It's phenomenal. They do require cookies though, for the record. You just bribe them with something. Okay, excellent. Let's move to the next section, beneficial syndications. I think we kind of asked about this, like, you know, Kelly, do you have any specific videos you'd like us to syndicate for you, which means push out to our networks? Any particular, you mentioned, you know, hobby, blogging, if there's anything related there, feel free to put stuff like that in the chat window. We can look into that for you. Plus,
Well, and I'll just comment here too. I know Snohomish County in general has been dragging their feet in the video development, like publicity. Like there's a lot in King 5 and downtown Seattle, but Snohomish County alone is looking for, or like there's a huge opportunity for video makers. And Kelly, I just think it would be so cool if you were to interview some of the officers, or have like a 4-year-old interview an officer, or like some unique type of things, because I know that whole community is trying to do some PR and, you know, get new people who want to become involved in that. But there's so many fun videos. I mean, even at the library, like what type of books does your you know, your deputy sheriff enjoy reading? Or like there could be so many things that like a video day could really get like a positive awareness for that community of people who are given a hard time for taking care of us, right? They keep us alive and well, in theory. And I'm happy to brainstorm with you on how you could set that up, and you know, you got some changes coming, but it would be really interesting to actually meet some of these officers at a, you know, not necessarily coming from the office. I know like they're doing some stuff internally, but like real stuff. It would be really interesting. Anyway, there's a lot of opportunity there, because you know, you don't need the King 5 to come out to create a video, right? Like people can create videos whenever they want.
yeah.
Maybe that could be a way we could use the country money. We could all like collaborate on a way. I don't know. I think it would be cool to
Yeah, let's talk. Let's
find
do it.
some creative like event type of thing that we could use that for.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Kelly, from the kudos perspective, I want to give you extremely high marks. I know you were nervous about this presentation, but this was your first one with the group, and I loved how you simply introduced yourself and really gave us your why, right? The how comes later. It comes with learning, comes with experience, comes with digging in deep, right? But what you do and why you do it and what you've come from, what you've experienced, I think you're brilliant. So I'm very, very impressed with what you did there. I also fully support getting you on the other end of the lens and have you, like Marcel said, and Courtney's offering, you know, come up with something to highlight folks in your own charming way. Even if you partner up with some of the divisions when they do coffee with the cops, right? Have a table alongside them, giving away some of those, you know, bracelets, things like that, to give you more exposure, more video opportunities, and all of that, you know, becomes testimonial based things, referral based, and exposure for you. So great job. Any other kudos or anything else anybody wants to toss her way? Okay. Last section, other business categories can we bring into DigitalPNA that can help her referral network grow, of course, ideally, given that she's the target speaker today, but of course, all of us might benefit. And think again, statewide, or in this case, multiple states, given Karen's location. Technically, Jorge, I know Cle Elum is still Quebec to me, but then we have someone from Idaho as well. So think outside of the boundaries of our state. What other businesses can we bring in to help?
I was gonna say PR, but we've already got Lynette. I wish she was here today. And then a grief coach. So that was gonna be my other guest today, was a grief coach, someone who's gone through the grief recovery method. Debbie, and so I'm hoping she'll hopefully come next time.
That would be amazing.
But
Yeah,
also like an event planner, like auctioneer, we've got Brian who can do some of that stuff, but people with the venue, right? Venue people, I don't know, photographer. We got a lot of opportunity for you.
definitely. Oh, Jorge's being attacked. Okay, good. Yeah, I was going to say event coordinator also, because they can definitely bring a lot of opportunities to the table, I think, for a lot of us. Plus, of course, most of them will travel within a certain demographic, so they're not bound to just one location. Anyone else have thoughts? How about a bookkeeper? You can only find a bookkeeper that's willing to take customers from anywhere and also visit other PNAs, because there's no bookkeepers in any chapter right now. Hint, hint. Sorry, that was too obvious.
Linwood is a great chapter. I mean,
Linwood's great. Linwood is awesome. Homish is great. Word has it, a Lake Stevens one might pop up soon. Lots of
Yeah. Well, and Kelly, I did just meet 2 party planners this last conference I was at, so I don't know if they're the perfect fit, but I have their business cards. So if you plan a party soon, I have a new set of vendors for that, or anyone really.
That's awesome. I like to party. Okay. All right. Next up. Oh, I got share screen again. Sorry. Actually, really quickly, Kelly, again, full complete circle here. Wonderful job. Great job. Proud of you. We're going to move on to the next section here. And again, sorry, sharing screen again. I do wish they could make it just one step here. But okay. So this is just really quickly some of the things that we talked about, but at the same time, I want everybody to think outside the box when you're out and about and realizing you might be facing someone right across from you that's a perfect fit for the digital PNA community or physical location as well. But think outside the box. Custom jewelry. There's a gift basket maker person that's considering joining one of our chapters, and I am stoked because I know every real estate agent, lots of mortgage people, they like that type of person because they're purchasing those things as thank yous, right? And then, of course, potentially for, Kelly's organization, maybe there's funding for that type of thing. Other ones here that, kind of stand out from the rest, podcast producer, digital artists, illustrators. We mentioned photographers, 3D modelers, voiceover artists. I will buy anything if it's told to me in a British accent. That's hot. I'm sorry. It's just weird. I'm a sucker for it. Australian accent, don't get me started, right? So think about that. Think outside the box when you're out and about. And worst case, all you got to do is introduce them to me. And I know that sounds almost counterproductive, but I can at least tell them the benefits of PNA, okay? Next up, referrals or testimonials. Hopefully you have something. If not, that's okay. But ideally, it's an opportunity for you to say something nice about a member maybe you've worked with in some capacity, and or I just lost my train of thought. Marcel wants to start. Go ahead.
I just want to give a glowing testimonial for Holly Kemp because I know her personally and she is a wonderful woman of integrity. She's super smart. She's got a great just community around her. And I'm so happy that you're here. And if you don't have a bookkeeper, definitely talk to her because I know she can take care of you. So yay, Holly.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you for that, Marcel. Anyone else? Okay. Well, I will give a huge testimonial. This is not planned, but it is actually back to Marcel. And the reason why is she's bossy and she pressures me a lot. And what I'm referring to is about a week and a half ago, she's like, oh, you're going to speak at the Mill Creek Chamber? Why aren't you doing a video, Brian? And she really, really was awesome. She didn't let me say no. She helped me with the script because even me, an impromptu speaker on stage all the time, if someone's like, yeah, throw a video in front of your face or throw a camera in front of your face, do video, I'm like, oh, I don't want to. She really, really supported me. And like I said, she helped me create the script. I finally drove off and went off to another client. And then afterwards sat in the damn parking lot for 15 minutes, 15 freaking minutes, and recorded it and then recorded it and re-recorded it and recorded it, cried openly. It was ugly, and then recorded it again. Finally got a version that was workable. And I posted it. It was for the Mill Creek Chamber. 5 other business owners via the chamber shared it out, including Marcel. So thank you again. And got about 1,400 views, which is cool. It's not phenomenal. No one's life was changed. But at the meeting yesterday, 2 people came up to me and literally, as Andy got up there as my witness, said, I saw your video. I wasn't going to come to the chamber, but because you were speaking, I showed up.
Wow.
And that was really cool because those are 2 businesses specifically that hadn't been to the chamber in a while. Not going to call anyone out. People have lives, they're busy, but one of them is going to re-up now. And the other one, again, is going to try to get back into the swing of things and start showing up to the chamber meetings. So that alone hopefully illustrates the power of syndication, right? That is why we're here. If you have something, like we've mentioned a few times, that you want to share out to then have us further through our network, it's amazing the amount of connectivity that can happen. And maybe it's just a PDF you want people to email out or anything along those lines. But think about that when it comes to really fully embracing your digital PNA membership, okay? Anyone else? Kudo, testimonial, anything like
Yeah,
that?
I'm a member of BizX. I don't know if I told you that. So I closed some business on BizX. So woohoo!
Nice.
If you don't know what BizX is, hopefully it's Michael, right?
Yeah, Mike Enberg.
Mike Enberg will show up and do his presentation on BizX because it's a good way to get business in a different way.
Outstanding. Congratulations. Yeah, Marcel and I have had 2 or 3 closed business opportunities through BizX as well. So it's a great opportunity. Good stuff. Anyone else? Okay. I don't know how we manage this, but it's only 1 o'clock. We technically have literally another half hour. If
We
people,
still have events and announcements.
yeah, we do have a few other things to cover.
I would have given Lynette a referral if she was here. I'm gonna hire her for a couple hours with the PR stuff because I want to move my message a little faster.
That's a referral right there, silly.
Yeah, I know, but she's not here, so I'm just stating that it will soon be a
share.
referral.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So yeah, next up on the speaker rotation is actually kind of optional. And I say that because a lot of the chapters are not meeting during the week of the 4th of July. So technically, Jorge is on the chopping block. I mean, these speaker podium to speak on the 5th, or it could be the 19th. So long story short, I'm getting dizzy with Courtney's camera. Can we vote, or should we vote, yes or no, on, well, do you want to
Move
have
it.
it during the week of?
Move it. Move him to the 19th.
Move to the 19th?
Yep.
Anyone else agree?
I agree.
Okay,
It's
what-
like,
I won't be in
Sorry.
town, so
I was
Okay.
moving around.
that's
I
okay,
have
Courtney.
some people in my office right now, but what was the like you talking about moving the meeting?
Yeah, the question was, should we meet on
Not
the,
have a meeting.
yeah. It sounds like people want to meet on the 19th and not the
It's
5th.
the day after the 4th of July.
Oh.
Y'all are gonna be tired.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Because those explosives will keep you up until
I'll be
5
driving.
a.m. alone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I live in Monroe where fireworks are going off until like 4 in the morning. So
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, I'll be
I
stuck.
will do it on 5th of July so that no one can see how bad it is. Only you
Right.
show up, Brian.
Yeah.
Jorge's like, I want to not have a headache when I give my speech, right?
I'll be spooning my dog for 48 hours. She's horrified.
Mhm.
All that stuff. So yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be easy then. We will meet again on the 19th. I'll post that and everything else. So thank you for that. Next screen. Yeah, these are some announcements. Some of you know about this if you're local or can drive, Jorge, with your lovely wife. We do actually this Friday, so 2 days, have a fun comedy night. We do this once a month at a local place called Good Brewing Barrel House, right off of 180th and Bothell River Highway for visual people. It's across from the Taco Bell. Only the best here in Bothell, bucket list checked. It's just a fun night. It's a 2-hour comedy event, cheap if you want to pay online, or a little bit more if you want to pay full price at the door. We definitely have seats left. Summer's affecting it a bit, but we're looking forward to having a full house, and got some really great comedians. So I'd love to see some smiley faces or frowny faces at first. That's fine. We can fix that. So that's happening on Friday night. And the picnic, which is available, I mean, Karen, you could fly out, but technically it's just available to people who will be in the area. love to see you though, Karen, is coming up on the 9th of August. That really is just around the corner. So I will ask that people RSVP, and hopefully Holly will have joined by then, so I get to see her and her husband. Maybe I can convince Gary to play some guitar, because it'll be good to see him again. Hint, hint, right, Holly? I'm dropping some really obvious signs here. And then PNA will bring some of the basics as far as the burgers and dogs and buns and all that stuff. But since 2002, these picnics have happened, and it's also a BYO dish, which just means bring something fun. Sometimes people bring like old recipes, you know, bean and bacon type stuff, you know, side dishes, whatever. Or they just go to Costco and buy a fruit plate. That's okay too. But we'll monitor that. And if we see too many fruit plates or too many cookies, you know, et cetera, we'll ask people to consider something else, because we have had a lot of leftover food at times. And I don't want anything to go to waste. I have a huge issue with that. But either way, we'd love to see folks there. So plan on RSVPing, please. And like I said, that's right around the corner. Does anyone else have stuff? Marcel, you got something?
Yeah, so I just dropped the link to schedule in there, but I have 6 more spaces for this month. I'm trying to get through 10 data art demonstrations. So if you haven't seen me do a demonstration of the cash flow circle, I would love to offer that to you. Partly just to change the conversation around business and social media, and how do we actually get that bookkeeping report that hopefully our bookkeeper gives us. So data art is very, very new, and I'm looking to practice on some friendly faces such as you. And so if you're willing to give me a half hour, I'd love to give you a data art demo. And if you've got a team of salespeople, they may enjoy it as well. But that's just a little announcement / ask.
That's awesome. Folks, I have been horrible. I have not gone through her entire program, but I'm working through it. It's amazing. And Jorge, for dudes on the call, it's okay to get your creative on and step outside of a comfort box and take a new look at reaching everything from an understanding of your finances to better ways to plan ahead. And this isn't something that at all competes with troublemakers like Karen. It takes the learning process and breaks it down into a whole new way of looking at it. It's fascinating. I'm working through it. And I guess I should thank you for that, Marcel, because she's been patient with me on that as well. It's really
Well, and
neat.
you were on the call last week, and that's where that video happened. Is we were at the revenue ringlet, and we were like, well, we need to, you know, plan the syndication.
Yeah, you're definitely good at that. Getting me off my tuckus. Outstanding. Okay. There's nothing else to discuss with slides. So does anyone else have any other? Yes, Marcel.
I have another one. So July 11th, I'm the keynote speaker for Exceptional Connections. It's going to be in Linwood at the old spaghetti factory. I think tickets are like $50. It's a 3-hour kind of event. You get a lunch, but I will actually be doing a data art demonstration there for that group. And so if social media is on your radar, this is a really fun and creative way to look at the results. So like if you were all to look at your last reel, your last 10 videos, how do we analyze that data and then advance it, right? So reflect and advance. It's just a very fun way to improve your marketing game. So that's coming up. I don't have a link handy, but I will try to email it once I actually get the link from Cindy. So it should be fun.
Great. Any other comments, events, questions, anything that any one of us could do for any one of each other? Is that right? Yeah, anyway.
Here's my doodle. I don't know.
Oh, well, hold on. Keep
Hold on
it.
there.
A heart
Got it.
police badge.
I
That's
like it.
awesome.
Well
I
done.
really should make that into a button.
Maybe I'll do that. No, not this.
That's cool.
but something like that.
I'll put it in the chat window here so Kelly can look at it in case she missed it. There we go.
Oh, did you?
I totally did. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, you
check,
missed it?
Aw.
check out the chat window. Yeah, it's awesome. That's super cool.
I'll email you my pictures.
Nice. Thank you, Karen.
Mhm.
Fantastic. All right. Anyone, like I said, any other questions, anything going on in your world that we can help with as far as like problems or concerns? This can always be a little open forum. If you do need to go, you can. We won't judge you. Not until you leave, at least. But either way, I'm kidding.
I would like to drop off because I have a 2 o'clock lunch appointment. So
Oh, very good.
Good to see you, Karen.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
see you later.
let's hit Holly with tons of bookkeeping questions. Holly, what's your favorite type of client right now, given that you're from the construction world? So is that still one of your faves, or do you run screaming when they come to you?
No, they are still one of my faves.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe a construction client that's starting out or just been in business maybe a couple years and trying to get their daily finances under control, and they just need time to focus on their business. It can just be so overwhelming trying to run your business and then being bogged down by all those details. So
yeah,
I feel like I can really help someone out like that.
Do you like being an educator in your business with your clients, or do you just like it when they know what to give you and they just shut up and they just send it every single month on time, so you have time to process and you give them their PNAnw, et cetera? Like, what gets you excited?
No, I definitely like them to understand the process, because that helps them to run it smoother and then communicate with me better. So I do a lot of QuickBooks online, so I like to teach about that and how that works, and then just the basic keeping track. I have the door.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, how about anyone else? Any needs, questions, concerns? If not, we can go ahead and end a little bit early.
Oh, I forgot to say the Mill Creek Festival is coming up July 15th and 16th. So that's going to be a huge networking opportunity and family fun event. So if you've got little ones or a friend or whatever, come on out to Mill Creek for a great, fun, special, tons of booths and face painting and good eats and music. And Brian, you could probably speak more to that, but
well, yeah, just the fact that the vendors alone, there's hundreds of vendors, everything from artisans to food to crafts, etc. The beer garden will have entertainment literally from 10 a.m. on for 2 days straight. I will actually be the MC for Saturday's portion of the event, but that's a nice way of saying I'll introduce the band and then go sit down. So nothing awe-inspiring, but you got to have someone to keep the pace. So I'm looking forward to that. Beer garden does have a $5 entry fee now. It's the first time they've ever done that, but that's because there's been some abuse from people in the past, like sneaking their way in, etc. So, you'll flash your ID, you'll pay your $5, you'll get a wristband that makes you official, that sort of thing. So they kind of batten down the hatches. But the bands are going to be great. millcreekchamber.org, or maybe it's com, I'm forgetting. Someone look that up real quick. Either way, the details are there as well. We're also selling inaugural t-shirts where basically all the profit of the t-shirts goes toward the school scholarships that we give away every single year. The chamber event was yesterday. We gave 4 $2,000 scholarships to 4 incredible seniors that have done more in their life, in their freaking 9 through 12 range, that I've done in my entire life. They're just incredible kids that are all off to great colleges, in state and out of state. So that's a really neat thing that chambers do when they put their money where their mouth is and take care of the local community. So yeah, be a great.
Is that a Friday and a Saturday?
Friday night is a VIP evening for sponsors. Saturday and Sunday is the actual Mill Creek Festival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Marcel put the Mill Creek Festival in the chat, so y'all can check that out.
I did a little laugh tech reel about that chamber event yesterday, if you guys want to see it. It's kind of neat. Those kids were super smart.
Yeah.
Getting free money to go to college.
They were so impressive. They actually glowed, not just because their parents were in the room. That was so cute. Parents were like glee the whole time. It was just awesome. Very cool. Okay. Well, folks, I want you all to have a fantastic rest of your week. If you do want to hang out for a bit, you're welcome to. Otherwise, scamper back into the forest, continue being awesome. And we'll see you on the 19th. So that's a ways away. Don't forget to have a good, safe 4th. Remember, if you make that mistake with a firework, you'll learn quickly. I'm kidding. Jorge, if you need any questions, whatever, prep time for your speech, let me know. Otherwise, take care, everybody. Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Bye.
And Brian,
Yeah.
just so I'll discuss with M and I'll get back to you. Maybe